So the bite of 83 isn't a springlock failure? What? That's crazy. I hear you. I know an incredibly large amount of people believe that the bite of 83 is a springlock failure despite the contradicting evidence, and that's been pissing me off for years. So I'm making a video about it out of pure spite and only a small part of me who actually wants to educate others on it. Okay, so this is purely a matter of how the springlock suits actually work. So how do they work? Well, Phone Guy explains that pretty well in the FNAF 3 Night 2 phone call.
Hello. Welcome to your new career as a performer/entertainer for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. These tapes will provide you with much needed information on how to handle/climb into/climb out of mascot costumes. Right now we have two specially designed suits that double as both animatronic and suit. So please pay close attention while learning how to operate these suits, as accidents/injuries/deaths/irreparable and grotesque maimings can occur. First, we will discuss how to operate the mascots when they are in animatronic form. For ease of operation, the animatronics are set to turn and walk towards sound cues. This is an easy and hands-free approach to making sure the animatronics stay where the children are for maximum entertainment/crowd-pleasing value. To change the animatronics to suit mode, insert and turn firmly the hand crank provided by the manufacturer. Turning the crank will recoil and compress the animatronic parts around the sides of the suit, providing room to climb inside. Please make sure the spring locks are fastened tight to ensure the animatronic devices remain fixed. We will cover this in more detail in tomorrow's session. Remember to smile, you are the face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Alright, let's break this down, then use this to actually prove that the bite was not a springlock failure. Phone Guy starts by stating that they have two specially designed suits that double as both animatronic and suits. Here he is referring to the Fredbear and Spring Bonnie costumes, obviously. Next, Phone Guy describes how the mascots function when in animatronic mode. Here he just talks about how they stay near children and how they just work. Then Phone Guy explains how to change the animatronic from animatronic into suit mode using the hand crank. Turning the crank compresses the animatronic parts, presumably the endo and mechanisms, into the side of the suit. He ends the tape with a reminder to keep the spring locks wound as to not let the animatronic parts crush the employee. Let's explain why the bite couldn't be a failure. In the 6th end of night minigame in FNAF 4, Michael, not confirmed, and his friends pick up CC and put him in Fredbear's mouth, and as Fredbear chomps down, CC becomes motionless. This is obviously the moment many mistake to be a springlock failure, mainly citing the fact that CC's tears got the springlocks wet and his manic movements made the springlocks go off, and that being what killed him. I'm sure you've noticed the contradiction here. If Fredbear is in animatronic mode, then how in the world would the springlocks go off? If they only go off when going from suit mode into animatronic mode. As if this wasn't enough evidence, we can see that in the 3rd end of night minigame in FNAF 4, we see an employee in a Fredbear suit, and we can see his face, something clearly absent in the animatronic on the stage which caused the bite. It's in the name! The bite! Bite of 83.
Need more proof?
Where is the mechanism that would be set off and clamped into CC's head?
Hold it!
What about the endos? Objection! What about the endos? Let's look at the endos. Let's go through the 4 endos possibly inside the suit. The endos have these dumbass mouth flaps which could be a part of the spring locks that are wound back capable of clamping down. Except, oh, never mind, there's clearly no endo flaps here. But maybe Spring Bonnie doesn't have it, so let's continue just for the sake of argument and say that Fredbear is the only one with that. Here there's an actually good point. If these parts are actually in the Fredbear animatronic, then they could clamp down with the other spring locks. But my rebuttal is, why? Why would that be necessary if no employee is putting their body in that area? Huh? You see this? Remember this? See how the teeth are still there and the person's body is not in that area? Why would the area need to be pushed back if there's nothing there? Listen, I'm sure that someone will come up with a reason as to why that area has to be pushed back and why it could be part of the mechanism that clamps down with the rest of the spring locks. And with that, I'm stumped. I won't lie, this stupid mouth flap thing could be the thing that breaks my argument and proves that the bite of 83 could have been a spring lock failure. If there's evidence for it to be a part of the animatronics that's pushed back with the spring locks, then it could prove that it was a spring lock failure. If you fucking ignore the rest of the evidence, these flaps mean jack shit, because everything else I've said proves it's not a spring lock failure. Stop saying this is a spring lock failure. Would it kill you to suspend your disbelief and accept the bite was strong enough to kill the child? No. At the very least, put him in a coma, like most people theorize. No, it wouldn't, because you know what? You've already done it for the bite of 83. Huh? FNAF 2? You remember that? Remember Jeremy? Remember Jeremy? Remember Jeremy? Yeah, he got bit. Suspend your disbelief for that, but not for a fucking child. Anyway, you get it! Okay, audio's not great on this one because I'm recording this after making the video, the original segments of the video. But I wanted to throw in, but I don't think many people actually know the canon intricacies of spring locks. So I wanted to just say that my drawing is an interpretation of the basic knowledge that we have on spring locks and the endoskeleton shown off in the Springtrap model. That doesn't break my points though. My points still stand because the basis for them are basic knowledge blatantly explained by Phone Guy without needing to know those intricacies or the exact way that those spring locks look or the endoskeleton looks. But I just wanted to say that no, I don't think anybody knows the canonical intricacies, like deep details on how the spring locks or the endoskeletons of the spring locks work. I saw this Reddit post while I was looking for images of the Silver Eyes spring lock suit, and it explains everything, but the blue spring lock suit might actually be the character from the Happiest Day mask. And although they say it's also the spring lock suit from Sister Location, I don't believe that. They got a lot of flack for that in the comment section, but I personally don't believe that. But the other stuff is very interesting to point out. And I'd also like to add that in one of the FNAF phone calls, I'll throw it in here.
Hello. There's been a slight change of company policy concerning use of the suit. Don't. After learning of an unfortunate incident at the sister location involving multiple and simultaneous spring lock failures, the company has deemed the suit temporarily unfit for employees. Safety is top priority at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which is why the classic suits are being retired to an appropriate location while being looked at by our technicians. Until replacements arrive, you will be expected to wear the temporary costumes provided to you. Keep in mind that they were found on very short notice, so questions about appropriateness/relevance should be deflected. I repeat, the classic suits are not to be touched, activated, or worn. That being said, we are free of liability. Do as you wish. As always, remember to smile. You are the face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Phone Guy says that after a spring lock failure at a sister location, they had to replace the classic spring lock suits with other suits that may not seem appropriate. Which seems to me like maybe they're not like Fazbear characters, right? Maybe they're just random Henry characters that aren't appropriate to the Freddy Fazbear brand or the Fredbear brand, right? And that could be the blue spring lock suit because Phone Guy says the classic suits as if there are more spring lock suits. Obviously that's just speculation, I'm just throwing it out there. That because of the interpretation in the Silver Eyes graphic novel that seems different from what Phone Guy explains and from the endoskeleton, it seems like these could be newer spring lock suits that came in after the classic spring lock suits, which might have been more dangerous, were retired. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Probably not true, but cool speculation. And that's it. Bye. If I was a rich man, I'd buy all the FNAF mystery minis. Give me the money so I can buy the mystery minis. Shout out of this video, watch the 2011 Muppets movie. That shit is peak. Tex Richmond kind of sucks as a villain, but he's really funny nonetheless. So go watch Muppets 2011 and then watch Muppets Help Wanted. I mean, you don't need to watch them in order, but they're good. So
You can also get jiggy and shake your pussy.